Hello students, welcome to my channel. In this video, I'll be talking about the polymer degradation process. This topic has already been started and we also studied about the thermal degradation process. In this video, we will be focusing on the photo degradation process in the polymer. Photo degradation process. This photo degradation process means it is the type of degradation process that is brought about by UV lights or UV radiation. Okay, this is brought about by UV radiation. UV radiation means it is ultraviolet radiation. Okay, photo degradation process means what? It is the degradation process in the polymer that is mainly brought about by the UV radiation. Okay. Now we will understand what is photo degradation in our daily life. You might have observed that our old white clothes, after several uses, what happened? The white color of that shirt slightly turns into a yellowish, right? It turns into yellowish. Okay, even we wash it properly, that yellow color of that white shirt never goes, right? And that yellowing of the white shirt or white clothes, okay, whatever the cloth, white cloth, is because of photo degradation process. Okay, that yellowing of the cloth, yellowing of usually white cloth. Okay, yellowing of white cloth is because of photo degradation process. Okay, even though you wash it properly, that yellow color of that white shirt never goes. Okay, that is nothing but photo degradation process that is taking place. Okay, even some of the transparent plastics, okay, in the olden days the transparent plastics were used to cover the windows. You might have observed that transparent plastic also, after several years, what happened? It turns into a slightly yellow or slightly brownish color, right? That coloring of that transparent plastic is mainly because of photo degradation process. Okay, if I get the picture of those plastics or even this yellowing of white cloth, I will insert in this. Okay, now even some of the rubber article also turns into yellow or slightly kind of brownish color after several use or several years of storage. That is mainly because of photo degradation that is taking place in that polymer. Okay, photo degradation is nothing but is the degradation process that is mainly brought about by the UV rays. Okay. Now we will study the one of the classical example of this photo degradation process, that is degradation process of the degradation process. Okay, this is the example, the degradation process of the polymethyl methacrylate. Okay, PMMA. Okay, this is polymethyl methacrylate. Okay, this is one of the classical example that is given to the photo degradation process. Well, during the degradation of this polymethyl methacrylate, what we will get is, we will get 100% yield of monomer. Okay, in polymethyl methacrylate, methyl methacrylate is the monomer, right? So degradation process of that polymer will give rise to the monomer. Okay, quantitative yield, it is need not 100% because this 100% depend upon the physical state of polymethyl methacrylate. That means if the polymethyl methacrylate is in the liquid state or in the molten state, then you will get 100% yield of monomer. If the polymethyl methacrylate is in the solid state, you may get a certain yield of monomer. It is not 100%, it is definitely lower than this percentage. Okay, one thing you need to remember, that is molten state of PMMA gives rise to, okay, degradation of molten state of this polymethyl methacrylate gives 100% yield of the monomer, while in the solid state of this polymethyl methacrylate, it will give lesser quantities of monomer. Okay, it is not 100%, it may be like 30% or 50%. Okay, that is mainly depending upon the state. Okay, if it is molten, you will get 100% yield of monomer. If it is a solid state, degradation of that polymethyl methacrylate, you will end up with lesser yield of monomer. Okay, now mechanism of degradation of this polymethyl methacrylate is believed is because of free radical. Okay, free radical. Okay, the mechanism of polymethyl methacrylate is believed that it is caused because of free radical. This free radical is generated during photodegradation. Okay, and then once the free radical generated, the further reaction of this free radical depend upon the physical state of the polymethyl methacrylate. Okay. This free radical is generated because of degradation of photodegradation of polymethyl methacrylate, and further reaction is carried by the free radical, and that reaction of this free radical depend upon physical state. Okay, if this is a molten state, you will get 100% yield. If the state of the polymethyl methacrylate is solid, then the reaction that is carried by free radical do not yield to the 100% yield of the monomer. Okay, that is the thing you need to remember. Okay. Now what we will see is we will see the degradation of polymethyl methacrylate in the solid state. Okay. We will see the mechanism, how it undergo degradation. Okay, we will see the solid polymethyl methacrylate. Okay, in this state we never end up with 100% yield. Okay, that thing you need to remember. And one more thing you need to remember is that during the degradation of solid polymethyl methacrylate, you also end up with the one more thing, that is methyl formate is formed. Okay, methyl formate is formed. Okay, some quantities of methyl formate and some quantities of the monomer, that is methyl methacrylate, is formed. Okay, but this methyl formate is never formed if the state is molten or liquid state. Okay, that you need to remember. Okay, now I will write the structure of polymethyl methacrylate. Okay, I write here CH2 C, CH3, C, double bond O, O, CH3, CH2, C, CH3. Okay, this is the big polymer chain. I'm just writing only this unit. Okay, this keep repeating many times. Now, this is the PMMA. Okay, polymethyl methacrylate. Remember, this is a solid. Okay. What I do, I just irradiate this polymethyl methacrylate with the UV radiation. Okay, during UV irradiation, what happens is that this bond is there, between this and this carbon. That bond cleaves homolytically. That means like this. Okay, like this, the bond cleaves, and what you get, you will get this. Okay, I'll write here CH2 C, CH3. And you will get free radical over this carbon, and you have CH2, C, CH3, C double bond O, O, CH3, plus you have this unit, that is C double bond O. Okay, right here, and over this carbon you have free radical and OCH3. Okay, understood? This bond containing 2 electron, that 2 electron, out of 2 electron, 1 electron go with this carbon and another electron go with this carbon. Okay, so you have this. Okay, now in the next step, what happen is that I will take this unit. Okay, and later I will take this. Okay, now C double bond O, OCH3, and this carbon has a free radical. Okay, I am writing the same unit here. Okay, now I write PMMA, polymethyl methacrylate, CH3, C double bond O, OCH3, and this continues. Okay, this is the PMMA only. I am writing only one unit of that. Here what happened is that this CH2 is there, out of this free radical will take the one hydrogen from this CH2. So what I do is I write 1H here. Okay, this is CH2 only. I written 1H over this carbon. Now this free radical is there, what it will do? It will take up, or it will abstract the hydrogen here. Okay, it will take hydrogen here, and as a result this carbon will now get free radical. Okay, let me write O double bond C, and over this carbon I have hydrogen because this free radical over this carbon abstracted the hydrogen from here. So you will get this thing. Okay, CH3. Okay, and rest of the thing I am writing as such. And this carbon I have free radical here, and C CH3, C double bond O, OCH3. Okay. Now tell me, what is this? This is one product, right? What is that product? That is nothing but methyl formate. Okay. Methyl formate. Okay, methyl formate. That is, I just write here CH. This is nothing but this one only. Okay, this is methyl formate. Same thing. Okay, if this is confusing, you can write like this also. This is methyl formate only. Okay. Well, now I took this one here, and now in the later step, what happened? I will take another unit in the first step. This is the first step. No, this is the two product we formed in the first step. I written this here, and this one is left. No, that one I will write now. CH2, C, CH3, CH2, C, CH3, C double bond O, OCH3. Okay, and this carbon is having free radical. Okay, I am writing the same thing. Okay, same thing. I written the same thing. Now here what happened is that this bond is there, no, that will cleave. Okay, this is anyhow UV only, UV radiation. We know during UV radiation what happened, this bond cleaves homolytically like this. Okay, now what you will have like this CH2, C, CH3, this free radical over this carbon, and the CH2, and this bond cleaves homolytically, no, that is why this carbon is also have the free radical. Okay, and C, and this carbon also having free radical, CH3, C double bond O, OCH3. Now this free radicals combine together to form the double bond. Okay, like this CH2, C, CH3 double bond CH2, and this is containing free radical. I am writing it as such. Okay, C double bond O, OCH3. Okay, this is the degradation mechanism that is taking place in the solid polymethyl methacrylate. Okay, in that you will get do not get the 100% yield of the monomer, and you will get the some yield of methyl formate. That is the thing you need to remember. Okay, another example under this photo degradation is the degradation of polyethylene. Okay, degradation of polyethylene. Okay, polyethylene means what? It is the polymer that is containing this unit, right? CH2 unit. But one thing you remember, this polyethylene molecule have C double bond O. Okay, this have polyethylene molecule have C double bond O or C double bond C. Okay, they have C double bond O or C double bond C because of impurity. Okay, even though you have CH2, there is some places you have C double bond O, C double bond C. Okay, either of this. That is mainly because of structural defect or because of impurity. Okay, that thing you need to remember. Okay, I will write the structure of polyethylene molecule that is having C double bond O as the impurity. CH2, okay, this is the polyethylene, and it is having C double bond O. Why this C double bond O arises? Because of impurity. Okay, CH2, okay, this continue like this only. Okay, now imagine I am irradiating this polymer with the UV radiation. So during the irradiation of UV radiation, what happened is that this is alpha, right? This is beta, right? And this is gamma, correct? This is alpha carbon, beta, and gamma. Similarly, this is beta and this is gamma. For instance, or to explain this thing, I'll take this as gamma. Now, what happened is that this is CH2. No, I write like this. Okay, CH2, or if I write like this, it means the same, correct? Okay, now what happened is that during UV radiation, irradiation, what happened? The bond cleaves homolytically, correct? So what you get is, in the first step, what happened? In the first step, what happened is that this bond between the beta carbon and the gamma carbon breaks, okay, like this. Homolytic cleavage, remember, because we are taking the UV radiation, okay. The CH2, 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 C double bond O, CH, this carbon have free radical, okay, CH2, this carbon have free radical, and this carbon, oh sorry, I'm not supposed to write the bond here because I cleaved the bond, right? So this carbon is also having free radical, CH2, CH2, like this, okay. In the next step, what happened is that in the next step of irradiation of UV radiation to this molecule, I'm sorry, I took this gamma hydrogen, but not that gamma hydrogen. I have to take the delta, okay. This is delta, right? This is alpha, beta, gamma, delta, okay. You have to take the hydrogen from that delta carbon. So I write here. Okay, in the next step of irradiation of UV light, this bond between this carbon and this hydrogen cleave like this, okay. Of course, this is a homolytic cleavage only. CH2, 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 C double bond O, and CH2 with the free radical. Now here what happened, this carbon is having free radical and you have CH, okay, free radical, and of course this H is having free radical, okay, and you have CH2 like this, okay. In the next step, what happen is that the free radical over this carbon combine with the free radical over this hydrogen and become CH3, okay. CH2 and H become CH3, and here you have the free radical, this combine like this, okay, so that there will be a formation of double bond between this carbon, okay. I will write and show you the CH2, 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 and one more CH2, C double bond O, and that CH2 becomes CH3 now, and now here it becomes CH double bond, sorry, it is CH2, CH2 double bond, the CH, CH2, CH2 double bond, CH, CH2, and it continues, okay. This is what happens in the degradation of the polyethylene, okay. Remember, this is a photo degradation of polyethylene. Now, how can you protect the polymers from this photo degradation, okay? How to protect this polymer from the photo degradation, okay? That is by using photo stabilizers, okay. This is by using photo stabilizer we can protect our polymer by this photo degradation, okay. I will give the some of the example for photo stabilizers that is commonly used, okay. One is 2,4 hydroxy, 2,4 hydroxy benzophenol, and the second one is 2 hydroxy 4 methoxy benzophenone, and another one we have 2 hydroxy 4 dodecycloxy benzophenone. Okay, these are the commonly used photo stabilizers in industry, okay. Now if you see the photo stabilizers, so what you can understand is in all the 3 photo stabilizer you have hydroxy group, right? You have hydroxy, and you also have one means what? It is a ketonic group, right? So in all the 3 photo stabilizer you have hydroxy group and the ketonic group. That is the thing you need to remember, okay. Photo stabilizer contain hydroxy group and ketonic group. Now what is the function of photo stabilizer is that this will absorb the UV radiation and it will dissipate that energy in the form of heat, okay. That is what the function of this photo stabilizer. So what is the function of photo stabilizer? It absorb the UV radiation and dissipating means it is giving out that absorbed energy, okay. They dissipate that energy in the form of heat. Okay, this is what the function of photostabilizers. Okay, now I will write the structure of one stabilizer and I will explain you. C double bond O, or OH. Okay, now this group is a benzophenone, right? A benzene, C double bond O, benzene ring means it is a benzophenone, and you have OH group here, OR. Okay, that means this is a 2-hydroxy. Okay, 2-hydroxy. Why it is 2-hydroxy? This carbon is 1, this is 2. Okay, 2-hydroxy benzophenone, and here you have substitution. No, that is why this is a substituted 2-hydroxy benzophenone. Okay, and I will give another example for the substituted 2-hydroxy benzophenone like this. Okay, C double bond O, OCH3, OH, and OCH3. Okay, this is also a substituted 2-hydroxy benzophenone. Okay, so in these two examples, what you can understand is that the hydroxyl group, okay, OS, this is a hydroxyl group and this is a ketonic group, and they are present ortho to each other, right? They are present ortho to each other in this example also, and even in this example also they are present ortho to each other. Okay, so what happen if they are present ortho to each other? That if they are present ortho to each other, what happen is that there will be a formation of hydrogen bonding. Okay, I will write this structure once again. C double bond O, OR, I'll write here OH. Okay, I'm writing this OH over this. Okay, this also become a 2-hydroxy benzophenone. Okay, now what happens is that whenever this this is a photostabilizer, right? Photostabilizer. Whenever this photostabilizer absorbs the UV radiation, what happens is that there will be a formation of hydrogen bonding. Okay, I will write here C double bond O, OR, and OH. Okay, I write here there will be a formation of hydrogen bonding. Okay, hydrogen bonded structure. Okay, this is when this photostabilizer absorbs the UV radiation. Now what I told, once it absorbs the UV radiation, it dissipates that energy. No, that whenever that dissipate energy, you will get back the initial structure of the photostabilizer. Okay, this is the structure whenever it absorbs the UV radiation, and this is the structure when that stabilizer give out that absorbed radiation in the form of heat. Okay, heat energy. Okay, this is what actually happens by using photostabilizer. Hope it is clear, right? If you have photostabilizer, it absorbs that UV radiation, and when that absorbs UV radiation, there will be a formation of hydrogen bonding, and absorbed UV radiation should be dissipated. No, whenever that dissipate that energy in the form of heat, you will get back the initial structure of the photostabilizer. Okay, hope it is clear. If there is any doubt, let me know. Okay, and there is one more photostabilizer called 2-hydroxy phenol 2-hydroxyphenol benzotriazole. Okay, this is also a photostabilizer, but if you see this photostabilizer, you have hydroxy group, right? But there is no presence of ketonic group. Okay, even though there is no presence of ketonic group in this photostabilizer, there is a possibility of hydrogen bonding. Okay, how we will see that? Okay, this is the structure of 2-hydroxyphenol triazole. We know that nitrogen is electronegative, right? There will be a presence of lone pair over this nitrogen, so there will be a formation of hydrogen bonding. Okay, so even though if there is a presence of double bond C double bond O, that is ketonic group in this structure, this is efficient photo stabilizer. Okay, one thing you remember is that this photo stabilizer, even though it present in a very very small quantity, it works, it is efficient. It is efficient in working. That means even though if the stabilizer present in very very small quantity, it is capable of absorbing UV radiation and dissipating it in the form of heat energy. Okay, it is not necessary that the polymer must have larger quantity of photostabilizer. Okay, even the very very small quantity of photostabilizer is enough. Okay, and what are the property that the photostabilizer should have? Okay, properties of photostabilizer. Okay, there are two properties that the photostabilizer must have in order to use it in the polymer products. Okay, one thing is that by using this photostabilizer, the polymer should not get any color. Okay, that means this photostabilizer should be non-staining. Okay, it should be a non-staining. That means the presence of photostabilizer in the polymer should not impart any color to the polymer. Okay, that is the first thing. And another thing is that it should be a non-toxic. Okay, of course, the this photostabilizer that you are using in the polymer should be non-toxic. Okay, and it should be a chemically inert. Okay, it should be chemically inert. That means this photostabilizer should not react with the polymer molecule. Okay, these are the three properties that the photostabilizer should have. Okay, one thing, it should not give any color to the polymer. Another is that it should be a non-toxic, and it should not react with the polymer molecule that you are using. Okay, this is the properties of photostabilizer, and we ended up with this photo degradation. If there is any doubt in the photo degradation or in this video, let me know. Okay, let me know in the comment section. If you like this video, please like the video, and please subscribe, and please share this video. Thank you for watching.